New York, September 1st, 1992. A Pakistani Airlines flight from Karachi lands here at Kennedy Airport. Seated in the first-class cabin, Ramzi Youssef. He's traveling with a Palestinian terrorist named Ahmad Ajaj. The two men exit the plane and approach parallel stalls at an immigration post. The 6-foot-tall Youssef, dressed in a 3-piece silk Afghan suit, presents a perfectly forged Iraqi passport. He demands political asylum. When immigration officials question Ajaj, they discover that he's carrying several crudely fake passports and a suitcase stuffed with bomb-making manuals.
If he'd been wearing a t-shirt that said terrorist, he couldn't have been more clear that he was up to no good.
Immigration agents take Ajaj into custody. They assign him a bed at this INS detention facility. But Youssef is allowed into the U.S. and told to appear at an immigration hearing. The men's performance has worked like a charm.
Ajaj creates such a stir and commotion and smokescreen that Ramzi Youssef, the Mozart of terror, is able to slip into America.
Youssef trolls the airport cab stand until he finds a Pakistani driver. He hands the cabbie a slip of paper with an address, 552 Atlantic. "Brother, I have just arrived from Karachi," he says. "I have friends who will pay." The driver takes him here to the Al Farouk Mosque. Youssef receives the blessings of a blind Egyptian cleric who is now in charge of the mosque, Sheikh Omar Abdul Rahman. The blind sheikh, as he is known, is an ally of Osama bin Laden. He has approved Youssef's plan to place a truck bomb in the basement of the World Trade Center. Throughout the fall and winter, Youssef and 3 other members of the Al Mosque are hard at work inside this storage facility in Jersey City, New Jersey, just across the Hudson River from Manhattan. Under Youssef's direction, they assemble the device they hope will topple the Twin Towers and kill thousands of people. February 26, 1993. 2 strands of Islamic terrorism converge for an attack on this symbol of America's global dominance. The blind sheikh provides the manpower and inspiration. Ramzi Youssef, the bomb-making expertise. Hovering in the background is the growing Al-Qaeda network, led by Osama bin Laden. Youssef packs a rented Ryder truck with a volatile mixture of 1,500 pounds of fertilizer, fuel oil, and nitroglycerin. Around noon, he and 3 colleagues parked the truck in a garage 2 stories beneath the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Minutes later, Youssef lights the fuse with a cheap cigarette lighter and speeds off. At 12:17 p.m. The bomb rips a 7-story hole right through the tower's core. 6 people are killed.
It became clear that this was a declaration of war, and it was a campaign that was being waged and a campaign that was being planned.
Across the river, Youssef watches a column of smoke rise over lower Manhattan. He knows he has failed. The bomb was not powerful enough.
He was disappointed that he hadn't sent Tower 1 crashing into Tower 2. And from that moment on, Ramzi Youssef vowed that he or his operatives would return to New York and finish the job he'd started in 1993.
That night, Youssef makes his way to New York's JFK airport. Before the bombing, he had drafted a letter claiming credit for the attack on behalf of what he calls the 5th Battalion of the Liberation Army. According to an FBI source, Youssef calls one of his fellow terrorists from the airport. He dictates a new ending to the letter. It states, "Our calculations were not very accurate this time. However, we promise you that next time it will be very precise. And the Trade Center will be one of our targets."